in a second. And then I will also share my screen so you can see my slides. Can everybody see that okay?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Great. All right. So this group, the PDP, is newly formed and will be calling on different agencies for support as they tackle their projects and initiatives throughout the year and for years to come. So we wanted to take some time to make these introductions and show the agency representatives their work plan, the projects that they're currently working on, and where the PDP could potentially call on you all for support. So taking a look at the meeting agenda. We'll start with some introductions. I'll call all the county folks first, then I'll call the PDP members to introduce themselves and their individual organizations. We'll go through an overview of the PDP, their formation, and some history on Pikesville revitalization, and then the initiatives that the group is tackling. And then finally, I'll share the work plan with you all, and the highlighted items that you'll see are the items where the county agencies may be involved or called on for assistance later on down the road. So at this point, I'll stop sharing so we can all see each other again for our introductions. All right, so I'll start. So I'm Sydney Cooper. I am the community planner for District 2, and it's been my pleasure to work with the PDP thus far. So I'm just going to go as you guys are across my screen, and when I call you, can you please just say your name and what organization you're with? We'll start with Mr. Peter Kim. I'm not even going to try. I don't want to butcher that. I'm sorry.
Thanks. I'm Peter Campanitas. I am the Assistant District Engineer for Traffic with State Highway Administration's District 4 office in Hunt Valley.
Great, thank you. We have Mitch Phillips up next.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Phillips, and I am with Baltimore County Bureau of Transportation.
Thank you. And we have Miss Rumsey Scott.
Hi, this is Latasha Rumsey Scott. I'm with Baltimore County Code Enforcement and Inspections.
Great, thank you. Erica.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Erica Crouch with the Baltimore County Executive's Office, the Office of Community Engagement.
Great, thank you. Renard.
Hi, my name is Renard Brown. I lead the Startup Business Acceleration Team, which is a component of the Department of Economic and Workforce Development.
Thank you. Mr. Shiflett.
Hello, my name is Randall Shiflett. I'm the Bureau Chief of Highways and Equipment Maintenance for Baltimore County DPWT.
Great, thank you for joining us. Gane.
Hello, everyone. I'm Gune Job. I'm the Chief of Community Planning for Department of Planning.
Thank you. Cameron.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Cameron Beckman, and I'm in the Department of Environmental Protection and Sustainability for the county.
Thank you. Aaron Kuhn.
Hello, I'm Erin Kuhn, State Highway Administration, Deputy District Engineer.
Great, thank you. Katie, thank you for joining us today. I know you have the county executive at your office.
Actually, nope, schedules changed. So, but thank you very much, and thanks for the invitation. Thanks for having us. I'm Katie Trackie. I am Chief of Economic Development with the Department of Economic and Workforce Development.
Awesome, thank you. And then Amy.
Amy Menzer, Department of Planning Implementation Team.
Sounds good. Thank you. And then now I'll call the PDP members. They're just going to introduce themselves and the nonprofits that they're associated with. So we'll start with Ms. Ruth Goldstein.
Hi, I'm Ruth Goldstein, and I am president of Thousand Friends of Pikesville, Inc.
Thank you. Beth?
Hi, everybody. I am Beth Reingold, president of the Greater Baltimore Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you. Kristen?
Hi, everyone. I'm Kristen Zeminski. I'm with the Pikesville Armory Foundation. Very happy to be here and working with everyone.
Thank you. And then Larry. Hi, thank you for joining us.
Good. Sorry, I'm late. Good afternoon,
okay.
Larry Shogum, Senior Director of Community Development.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, so I'm going to go back to sharing my screen, my PowerPoint, so you guys can see everything. All right, and we're back to our agenda. So moving on to the next slide. Okay, so coming back to the formation and the history of the PDP and Pikesville revitalization in general, the Pikesville Revitalization Action Plan, or the PRAP as we call it in-house, is a good place to start. The PRAP was an effort the Department of Planning took on based on the Pikesville Commercial District Study, community input, and stakeholder interviews. There have been several recommendations outlined in previous plans, but without funding and a steady project campaign, many were never addressed or just became unfeasible over time. So the PRAP outlines the strategies, goals, and projects that are focused on the revitalization of Pikesville's commercial district. And the next logical step, of course, was to charge a group with implementing the plan and focusing on revitalization efforts in the area. So the plan was formally adopted by County Council in December of 2021. So before we move on to the PDP formation itself, I just wanted to share the revitalization focus area. So this entire boundary that you see here makes up the Commercial Revitalization District, or the CRD, which has been broken down into 3 different subsections: the Central Business District, this red piece right here, the Suburban Commercial, which is this yellow section, and then we have the neighborhood commercial, which is this green portion right here. So most of the revitalization efforts are to be focused in this central business district, but the entire CRD has lots of potential for revitalization efforts. The Pikesville CRD has been, largely neglected over time, and there's a pretty apparent aesthetic decline throughout the district. So we're really trying to make this place beautiful and more attractive and a nice place to live, work, and play for everybody. So in January of 2025, the PDP was officially formed to implement the goals and action items outlined in the PRAP. The group consists of representatives from the main nonprofits in the area, the Greater Baltimore Chamber of Commerce, the Pikesville Armory Foundation, 1,000 Friends of Pikesville, and Comprehensive Housing Assistance, Inc., or HI. As nonprofits, these groups have the ability to apply for grants and seek funding to achieve the goals and action items they've been charged with turning into a reality that are outlined in the PRAP. And we also have a new project manager coming on board in the coming weeks to provide support and manage the capital projects that the group is leading and will lead later on down the road that you guys will see outlined in the work plan shortly. So speaking of the initiatives that the group is taking on, this slide presents an overview of the initiatives and projects that the PDP is involved in. So just for some background, the county budgeted $325,000 over fiscal years 2022 and 2023 for streetscaping and capital projects to revitalize Pikesville. The PDP has used the funding for new trash cans in the CRD and Pikesville's first publicly funded mural located on the Zips Cleaners, which is right across the street from the Pikesville Public Library. The image on the left right here is a picture of the mural dedication and ribbon cutting when the final project was unveiled last summer. Currently, the group is working on a new mural, Mural 2025, to be painted on the wall of Punta Cana Restaurant located at the Alley Shops, which is 1330 Reisterstown Road. And that's what this community announcement shown over here is. They've also brought a placemaking consultant, Public Mechanics, on board to help create a cohesive brand identity for downtown Pikesville. We're really excited. We just got to see some of the initial brand ideas from them. So we're looking forward with we're looking towards moving forward with that project. And they're also working to get some uplighting installed on the existing mural, and they're organizing quarterly cleanups as well. The last one was on March 23rd, which was super successful. So with all of this being said, the PDP has created a work plan, which I'm going to share with you all, but I'm only going to go over the projects and initiatives where we'll be calling on county folks for assistance or partnerships. So I will start sharing that with you now. Give me 1 second. Does anybody have any questions or anything before I move on to the work plan? Feel free to just, interrupt. No? Okay. So we can all see this pretty work plan we've got?
Yes. Can you make it a little bit bigger, please?
I can certainly try. I'm on a laptop, but I will zoom in as much as I can. Is that a little bit better?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
So these ones that are highlighted in yellow are the ones that I'll be going over. There's only a handful that, we shouldn't be calling on any of the agencies for, but I will just start at the top and make my way down. So as I said from the slides, we are working with a placemaking consultant for some branding. So Public Mechanics was brought on board in 2024 to help create a brand identity for Pikesville. They're currently working on a logo and some community statement pieces. And then we'll also talk about that down here. So Public Mechanics is to create a menu of community statement pieces for the PDP to select from for future grant applications and projects. And these are going to consist of public art installations, like sculptures or public functional furniture. So we're going to be looking for some support from DPWT and SHA on these initiatives later on down the road. We've already had some conversations with them, so thank you for that. Zips mural uplighting for mural number 1. This project's near completion. We are just awaiting grant approval for the funds to be released. So we worked with PAI, permits, approvals, and inspections to go through the permitting process, and they were really helpful with working with our electrical contractor that we have on board as well. The Alley Shops mural 2025, the one that will be coming soon. This project will entail creating a mural at the Alley Shops with the intention of creating an art hub and destination location. So we'll be calling on PAI for permitting needs, Erica and her team over at OCE for pushing some information out to the community and getting people involved. There's going to be a community paint day and some chances for community engagement where we'll definitely need some assistance with letting the community know what's going on. We plan on applying for Maryland Facade Improvement Program funding. This is through the state DHCD. Apply for and manage facade improvement funding for the Pikesville CRD. We'd be calling on PAI and code enforcement here for some assistance with that project, just making sure that we go through the permit process correctly, and that all of the businesses that do apply are, of course, up to code with code enforcement. There's no violations on any outstanding violations on these properties. We have the Park Pikesville campaign, which is a project to develop and implement a comprehensive user-friendly parking map and signage system to make visiting and navigating Pikesville easier for residents, visitors, and business patrons. I'm sure we'll be calling on DPWT and especially Revenue Authority to let people know where there's some parking opportunities to make it a little bit more user-friendly in the CRD. We're gonna skip that one. Pick up Pikesville community cleanup days, coordinate and schedule prep focus area cleanup and beautification days with the community. Cameron is always so helpful whenever we reach out to him. So we've been in contact with DEPS and then advertising the cleanups that we've had through OCE. So we're going to continue doing that moving forward. We're going to select a date for Q2 shortly. We're almost in May already. I can't believe it. And then a couple other things, we are also going to be looking for a litter-free Pikesville storm drain stencil project. That was something that came directly out of the plan as well. So again, pulling on DEPS, DPWT, OCE for some support here to identify storm drains in the Pratt focus area where we could potentially bring in, some of the youth in the area, the schools, and paint and make those storm drains look a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. Creating a permit guide, developing a permit guide that will assist property and business owners through the permit process. We hope to be able to hand these out to businesses in the area and include some code enforcement information just to make it a little bit more user-friendly for people to navigate the permitting process, and then just some information about the code enforcement process, if there's an issue with a property, how they can report it, and just ways that they can, easily stay in compliance with code enforcement. The Pikesville Senior Center relocation, this is an armory project. I'm sure everybody knows the Pikesville Senior Center is to move to the state-of-the-art center at the Pikesville Armory. And then they're working pretty closely with the Baltimore County Department of Aging on this project. And I'm sure there will be some other agencies pulled in there as well. Pikesville Armory parking, this is a big deal. The Armory is to build a free, very large public parking garage on their campus. So the community and all of us here are really excited about that, and we'll be looking for some support from PAI and some of the other agencies as well. And then we'll be pulling on our DUDE partners for this one for CRD program enhancement, working with DUDE and the PDP to develop a strategy to better promote and advertise the county's commercial revitalization programs. We hope to create like a more revamped commercial revitalization hub page highlight some of the past success stories with like crack funding or build improvements, and just ways that we can, let people know that these services and things are out there for them to use. So that is the PDP work plan for 2025, and it extends into, years down the road, because a lot of these projects aren't going to be completed overnight, of course, but that is what we had to share with you all. So I'm going to stop sharing so I can look at all your faces and see if anybody has any questions or any comments on any of those projects or plans, or just general thoughts.
Sydney, can I say something?
Of course you can.
Okay, so this is Beth Reingold and with the Greater Baltimore Chamber. For those of you who may not know, our historic base is Pikesville, despite our name, which is Greater Baltimore. We were at one time the Pikesville Chamber, and then at one time we were the Pikesville Owings Mills Chamber. And now, hopefully the third brand change was a charm. We are Greater Baltimore, but our office is in Pikesville. We are physically located in Pikesville. That mural is actually not just across the street from the library, but right across the street from the chamber. That was not intentional, incidentally, but it's wonderful that I get to see that every day when I come into work. And I just want to emphasize that we are completely committed to the revitalization of Pikesville, working with these amazing nonprofit partners. It just so happens I used to work for High, and that's where I got my feet wet with nonprofit work. I worked with Kristen in that previous job too. She was a community person who I got to meet. And it has just been so wonderful to work with Baltimore County government. Sydney has been great. Gane, Director Lafferty is so supportive of this work. And I just want to emphasize how grateful we are to have the county putting so many people in place to make this work go forward. And so thank you all so very much. It has just been fabulous to work with this team, and we're only getting started. So I just saw Renard 2 hours ago, I think, at a chamber event, and it's just, I've been with the chamber for 5 years, and we all know the pandemic stopped everything, and then it was, stop and go for a little while. There was a lot of turnover. It didn't matter if you were running a government agency or you were in retail, people were just going through employees, but we are just at a great moment and on the precipice of really turning Pikesville around. And I want to thank you all in advance for your partnership, and I'll stop there.
Thanks, Beth. Kristen, of course.
Thanks, Sydney. Yes, thank you, Beth. I wanted to just jump on what she was saying, that we really, as the Pikesville Armory, we want to thank the Baltimore County partners for seeing this vision and how working together we can really create a better sense of place and revitalize the entire area. The Armory will be an anchor, a destination anchor. But what we're doing here with the Pikesville Downtown Partnership, with the PrEP, with all the different agencies, we're creating this infrastructure around it that will support the anchor, that'll support all of those small businesses, all the communities, and it really make it a stronger foundation for lasting change and lasting impact. So we're really excited and grateful that everyone sees that vision, that this is so important, that you need not only anchors and small businesses, but the infrastructure and the beautification, the placemaking around it to make this really a viable project. So we're excited that everyone, it's just amazing that, all the agencies see that. So we're excited.
Thank you. And just going back to some of those specific projects, Reisterstown Road, of course, is a state highway, and most of the stuff like the capital projects that we'll be implementing with the placemaking and some of the other projects are going to be along Reisterstown Road. So I'm really glad to see our state highway friends and DPWT here as we move forward very, very soon with a lot of those projects. So I just want to say thank you guys for joining us. There's no specific questions about any of the projects or anything like that, or the group in general.
I don't think I have any questions, Sydney. I'm sorry if I interrupted someone.
No, go ahead.
I just wanted to ask about transparency of this deck that you've shared and or
Oh,
the
of course.
project plan on an ongoing basis. Can you give us some sense of that?
Some transparency about the deck that I've shared, and then
Yeah,
what
are you
was-
sharing, or is the deck going to be shared out or?
Oh, of course, yeah. I'll share all the slides. I can even share a copy of the work plan as well.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
I
so
think
that
that
way
would be
you guys
very
can-
helpful to just kind of track down and kind of as a punch list, especially, I don't want to, I see that Chief Shiraki's on, but I think that's good sort of as a punch list so that we all know kind of what's happening on an ongoing basis.
Yeah, of course. I'll share
My
the
project
recording.
management background jumping out, sorry.
No, that's great. I'll share the recording, the slides, and then I will also share the work plan with everybody as well, so they can have it for their reference.
And Mike, just to piggyback on that, would you be able to share the different the people who are on this call and their contact information?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great idea.
Think of something now, but I know when we need, code enforcement at 3 a.m. whenever it comes to my mind tomorrow, I'm gonna who do I call? Yeah.
Of course, I'll share all the information and then everybody's email addresses as well.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
It's nice to see Amy Menzer, who I used to see monthly back in her days with Dundalk Renaissance. Did I get that right, Amy? Yep. Okay. Just wanted to make sure. We have, just so everybody knows, we have a brand new project manager coming on board. And we are so excited. She just accepted our offer. Again, we could not do this without the support of Baltimore County. So we're so very grateful for the funding that has made this position possible. I'm extremely excited because the Amanda Rothschild is her name. She was somebody who Kristen suggested that we interview for the position, and she has a master's in urban planning. Like, wow. And that's especially impressive because this is a part-time position and you don't always get people with those kinds of credentials for part-time work. So we are very, very fortunate. And to make things even better, she has worked previously with our placemaking consultant, Bruce Willen. She has worked with him in other capacities. She lives in the city and does community work now in Remington. So she has skills and tools in her toolbox that we just cannot wait to access. And she will likely be reaching out to many of you in this partnership as we revitalize Pikesville. And as our state highway friends know, one of our greatest challenges is the fact that we have a commercial district with a highway that runs right through it. So we're always grateful for how state highway can guide us in that very unusual situation that that presents and comes with its own challenges.
Yeah, thank you, Beth. All right.
Did you want to hear from Larry and myself?
Sure, if you'd like to, of course.
Sure, I'd like to. I'm Ruth Goldstein, president of Thousand Friends of Pikesville, Inc. And first of all, thank you so much for allowing us to share all this with you. It's, a great new opportunity for Pikesville to have these 4 nonprofits come together. We've all worked with each other for several years now on various projects. In fact, Thousand Friends, we got a spruced up grant from Northwest Baltimore Partnership, which is part of HI, which funded half of last year's mural, along with funding from the Department of Planning. This year, actually, I'm glad SHA is here. This is not on the work plan, but for the sort of the second half of the year, we are going to be applying for another Spruce Up grant to place public art on the traffic transformer boxes, the utility boxes. There are about 7 or 8 of them in the Reisterstown Road corridor. And again, it's, you know, are going to have to work closely with SHA to achieve that. And we all have to work closely with each other to achieve all of these projects. We're very, we're a little incestuous, but we're very interconnected and symbiotic. So I just wanted to say that Thousand Friends, it was founded primarily because of the vision of a project to rejuvenate and renovate the Pikesville Armory. And that is coming to fruition. So Thousand Friends, you know, we've accomplished our first goal, and along with it, Pikesville revitalization. So now we are turning our focus more to other projects in the commercial corridor and to supporting Pikesville revitalization in any way that we can, because really our primary goal has been achieved. The Armory is launched and off to a great start. So that's really what I wanted to say, and to thank you all for your support, because this partnership with the Department of Planning and Baltimore County, you know, it's invaluable, and we just cherish it and appreciate it so much, and we want to deliver.
Thank you, Ruth.
Yeah. And I guess I didn't mention mural too. You know, Thousand Friends was the lead organization on the first mural, which we're all enjoying, and we're in that role again for this project. So that's why the traffic utility boxes are sort of a second half of the year project. Thanks. Any questions, I'm happy to answer.
And I guess, Sydney, I'll just add that we're really happy at High to be part of this team and part of this process. And also, I think it's astounding that you were able to coordinate all of these schedules.
It was a lucky shot. Everybody had 2 to 3 free on their calendar today, apparently. And I just want to say thank you to everybody for joining us and taking the time out of their day to participate in this meeting, and be introduced to the PDP. I've interacted with, I think, everyone on this call many, many times, and you will be hearing from me so much more while I work with the PDP and through the rest of District 2. So I just want to express my gratitude, you know, personally, and then on behalf of the Department of Planning. We appreciate the partnerships that we have with all of our county agencies as well. So I know I scheduled from 2 to 3, but it doesn't look like I need that entire hour. So who doesn't love when a meeting ends early? So I can give you guys the rest of your hour back. But I will send the recording and all of the information and everybody's email addresses out, so we all have it. We can stay in touch moving forward. And if
May
anybody...
I say one thing?
Yeah.
I emailed Sydney a few minutes before the meeting started that we are so lucky to have her on our team.
Thank you.
And I just wanted to share that out loud with everybody. You know, we have the best liaison we could possibly have, and facilitator, and we are just really fortunate. And she's producing the next generation of successful people. So really happy about that.
Thank you very much.
I echo that, Ruth. Thank you so much for your
thank you
for your kind words.
We've been
not going to be able to see my head on my screen anymore. It's like this big.
I know. As the Pikesville Armory, we've been working with a lot of the other folks here too. Sydney, Gane, Erica, and Amy. And we're just, it's always a pleasure. It's always, you guys have a dynamite team, really. And you should be proud of yourselves, because you guys do a lot and you support a lot and you're so easy to work with. So we just want to thank you. And it's only going to build from here.
Thank you.
And I should have said Gane as well, because, you know, without your support, you know, you have really shown us, you know, in action your support, and we just really appreciate it. I mean, Beth, you were effusive in your praise, and everyone else is here because it's genuine, really.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you all again for taking the time to join us. I will let everybody go, and I'll be following up with you guys shortly.
Great
Thank
job,
you.
Sydney.
Thank you.
Have a
Thank
great day,
you.
everybody.
Take care.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.